If you are running your website, API, applications, or servers, then you want to probably know immediately if they go offline. Instead of depending on any uptime monitor service, you can self-host your own uptime monitor using Uptime Kuma. Uptime Kuma is a free and open source monitoring tool that lets us monitor websites, servers, API, ports, and Docker containers, and many other services from a single dashboard. We can configure it according to our need and set up the notification system, like we can send notification through Telegram, Discord, Slack, email, and many other platforms. In case our services goes down or have any degraded performance, then we can get alerted immediately and then we can act so that we can start or fix the issue. And it also includes customizable public status page so that we can also share with our customers or users about our services uptime publicly. In this video, we will learn how we can deploy Uptime Kuma inside our own VPS using Docker, and we'll be also connecting with our own custom domain so that we can publicly share our uptime to our users. So let's get started and self-host Uptime Kuma. First, you need to log in into your VPS or server that you have. For this case, I'm using SSH. After you are connected to your VPS or server, you need to update it. Let's get the root user and now call apt update. After update is done, you need to verify whether Docker is pre-installed in the system or not. For this, you can call docker ---- version. So it's showing this. It means Docker is not installed in our system. For this, we can simply call the Docker installation script and paste that, and Docker will be installed in our system. After Docker is installed in our system, we need to verify it. For this, we can just call docker ---- version docker compose version. Like here, it's showing us the versions. It means Docker is installed successfully in our system. Now, we need to write two services for two containers. First one will be our Uptime Kuma container, and second one will be our Caddy container. Both of them are going to be separate containers, separate services, and they need to communicate with each other because the Uptime Kuma will be used for our uptime monitoring, and to access Uptime Kuma will be requiring our custom domain. For that, for proxying Uptime Kuma port to our custom domain will be requiring Caddy. But doing this will be requiring our own specific network. For this, it's best to create a network. So we can just call docker network, create a name of the network. In this case, I'm naming it as web. This will be the network where both Uptime Kuma and Caddy will be connected. Now I will check if network is created or not, simply calling docker network list. Here we have created our own bridge network and the name is web. Now we need to write the Docker compose script. For this, here in this folder, we are going to be writing two more folders. First one will be our Uptime-Kuma and second one will be Caddy. Now we have two folders. First, let us write the Docker compose script for Uptime Kuma. Just navigate to the folder and use nano editor docker-compose.yml, and here we need to paste this script. For this script, I will link this blog post in description. Here you can simply copy the script and paste it. Here basically we are calling the official Uptime Kuma image, naming the containers Uptime Kuma and setting restart. And here we are not exposing port 3001 directly. We are limiting it to localhost only. And then we are specifying the persistent storage inside uptime-kuma-data directory. And then security, we are setting no name privileges to true. And in network, we are choosing the specific network that we have recently created. And then we can just save it. Now we have saved it. Now we can call docker compose up. First, it will start to pull the image. After it has done pulling the image, we need to open localhost port 3000. So now we have set it up on O1 and it's running on localhost 3001. But we have restricted it to localhost only. For opening port 3000, we need to port forward it. For this, what we can do here inside a new terminal, here also we are going to be using SSH, but here we are going to be listening to port 3001. For that, we'll be using -L, specifying the port where we are going to be accessing it in our machine. It will localhost 3001, and server port will be 127.0.0.0.1 localhost 3001. And in this way, we are forwarding localhost 3001 to our own machine. Now, inside our own machine, we can access localhost 3001 and it is running from our server. Now, here you need to complete this setup. What kind of database you want? SQLite will be enough for it. So I'm choosing SQLite. It will take some time to set up the database. Here you need to choose a username. And now our account got created. Make sure to remember the account password. Now here it is very simple. We need to add a Uptime monitor. So just click on Add New Monitor. Here we need to specify the URL. So now let's just use an example URL. Let's name it as example.com. Here we can specify the check interval. It can be 1 minute or 50 seconds, anything you can specify, and how many retries it will do. If you want, here you can also get certificate expiry notification. Now the next part is the notification setup. Here you need to specify the notification type, and here you get multiple options for notifications. Now, if you want, you can use the SMTP email option or WhatsApp API options. Multiple options are available. For this, the easiest one is going to be Telegram on Discord or SMTP. Let's use the Telegram option. You need to chat with Botfather and get your Telegram work token ID and chat ID. Inside Telegram, you need to search for Botfather. And here you need to start chatting with this bot. If you are using web version, you can just click on open a new tab. And here you can just create a new test bot. You can name it anything, uptime bot. The username should end using _bot. My uptime. So like this, we can create our own bot. Just click on create bot. And here you're getting the Telegram token. Just copy this and paste that token here. Just open this bot and try to start and send a message. And again, here, just try to auto-get the chat ID. Now we have got the chat ID. Here we can give a friendly name, Uptime Telegram alert. Here, first we should test our notification when we click test. Here we are getting Uptime Telegram alert testing. So now it is working fine. We can just save this. And if you want, you can also add one more notification type like a Discord notification. Now for Discord, you need to create your own server and get a webhook URL. So for this, inside Discord, just use this plus add a server and here create your own. Just choose anything and let's name it as my Uptime server and create it. Here inside Discord, we need to create a new channel. If you want, you can also use the general. Let's create a text channel. Let's name it as notifications. And here inside the setting, edit channel, we need to go to integration. Here we will be getting the option for webhook, create a webhook. Now here we need to copy the webhook URL and inside our Uptime Kuma Discord alert, just paste the webhook URL and just test it. Like here we are getting a notification that my Discord alert testing. It means that Discord alert is also working. And now we can just name it as Discord alert. Let's save it. Now we have set up 2 notifications. Here, not only we can test external application, we can also add status monitor for internal application. Let's say, like here, I have an internal application that is a Python app. If I started using Docker controls out -t. Now if I use Docker ES, here you will find that this server is running on localhost 8001. And if I do localhost 8001, and this website is accessible. Now our Uptime Kuma container cannot access localhost 8001 directly. It should read the host. It can be only accessed by the hostname. So for this, let's add an internal monitoring endpoint. It will be HTTP, the name of our container, that is Python-app, and it's on localhost 8001. You are naming it as Python app, setting up Telegram notification, Discord notification, and just saving it. It's able to access our application using the hostname because the Docker Compose file for this application is using the same network, that is the web network. So the Uptime Kuma container is able to access this Python app using the host name and the private port. Now it is working, so we are not getting any alert both in Discord and Telegram. Now let's stop this Python server and let's see what kind of alert we get. So here it's running. So here our Python app is running. Let's stop this. Docker stop Python dash app. And now our Python app got stopped. Here if we try to do localhost 8001, here we are getting host error. Here we are getting fail to connect. That means very soon we are going to be getting an alert that our service is not working. Like as you can see, here we are getting the down alert. And here also we are getting that your service Python app went down. This is the endpoint. And also seen in Telegram, here we are getting it as done. Now if we again start the server, Docker compose up. So here it's running, and here we immediately got the up notification that our service is up. And here also the same downtime duration is 1 and pin is 6. In this way, we have just set up our own uptime monitor. Here we need to also set a status monitor so that we can show that what is the status of our application. For this, we'll be using the status pages. Like here, we can create a status page, server uptime, and here we need to just add a slug, my servers, and here we have just created our status page. Now we need to add some monitors. Let's add example monitor and Python app monitor. Here we can name it as and just save it. Now this endpoint is running on localhost 3000 and we are able to access this port because we are port forwarding it. For public users to access this website, we need to enable reverse proxy. For this, we are going to be using Caddy, and it's also very similar. Inside, we go back to our Ubuntu folder, and here we have already written our Caddy folder. We'll navigate to this Caddy folder, and here we need the Caddy script. I have given this. You can copy it from here and make sure that both Caddy and Uptime Kuma are using the same network. Otherwise, Caddy will not get the access of Uptime Kuma. Here, it's simple. Again, create a Docker compose file, Docker compose.yml, and just paste the script. Just to be clear, here we are using the Caddy latest image. The daemon name will be Caddy and it will restart and it's stopped. We are exposing port 80 and port 443. For this, make sure that you are enabling port 80 and port 443. Otherwise, you're not going to be accessing your website. It's persisting everything in Caddy file, Caddy data, and Caddy config. And network is web. And here we are storing the volumes in this folder, Caddy underscore data and Caddy underscore config, and we are saving it. But this is not going to work. We need to also bring our own custom domain. For this, we need to write a Caddy file. Here we need to add our custom domain and the reverse proxy to our container name and the port where it is running. We can simply copy this and paste it here. Here we need to bring our own custom domain. Inside your DNS provider where you have hosted your domain, you need to add a new record. Here, just mark it as DNS only, and then you need to give the name of your record. For this, I'm choosing Uptime. And here we need to add our server IP address and save it. Now, if anyone access our website, can access our server uptime status. For this, here, inside of this example.com, here we need to add our own custom domain that we have created now. And let's just save it. Now we need to call Docker compose up, and it will also show all the logs. First, it will pull the Caddy image. Now it is trying to get a certificate. Now, after it has obtained the certificate, now we can access this URL. As you can see, it is the same website that we are getting it from localhost port 3001, but this time we are accessing it from our custom domain with an SSL certificate. Like as you can see, now if we go to our status pages, like this was our status page, now we can share this link with anyone. They can access and view the status of our application. For this, authentication is not required. It's open to anyone. Like let's say that we do log out. And now if we try to access this page, we find that this page is working and anyone can view the status of our application. In this way, we have just self-host our own uptime monitoring service, and if any of our services go down, we are going to be getting notified immediately. Here, the Uptime Kuma data folder that we are having here is the folder we are storing all the data. So make sure to back up this data if you are willing to store or migrate to some other server. If this folder gets deleted, then you will lost all your data. So it's better to back up this folder. So that's all for this video. I hope you find this video helpful.